our Monday night yoga class. My name is Michelle, and this program is brought to you by Mercy Health's Stepping Out program. So thank you for joining me. I hope you're dressed in something comfortable, and we're just going to start in a comfortable seat. So I'm going to ask, what kind of practice do we want this evening, everybody? Stress release. Michaela, what kind do you want tonight? Okay, all right. We'll do a little bit of everything. You guys can do the parts that feel good for you tonight. Make it your own practice. All right, so let's begin by finding our breath. Quieting our minds down. Press both palms together at our heart center. Let our chin sink to our chest. And set our intention for our practice this evening. Think about what you want to get out of your time on the mat, or think about what brought you here. You can think on one word or just a whole message in your heart. Heads up. Interlace our fingers with just our pointer fingers up. We're going to do our alternate nostril breathing to start with. I know it's cold season, so if you have a stuffy nose, I'm sorry. So we start this by first choosing nostril. I'm doing my right nostril first. And take a big inhale. Switch nostrils and exhale. Inhale, switch nostrils, exhale, inhale, switch. Once you've finished a full cycle, just go ahead and try to breathe normal. Just like our body favors one side for our muscles, we feel that when we're stretching, we tend to favor, not us personally, but a side. And so when we open up both sides of our nasal passage, we activate our brain better and get more oxygen flowing throughout. So that's a good practice to do first thing in the morning when you're trying to wake up. It's a good practice to do right before you have something important or stressful to do. And you want to be completely there, so keep that in mind. All right, we'll bring both hands down along our side. Let's start with some side stretching here so that right hand will reach up and over. Bending the elbow to let us sink towards the earth. Keep both shoulders stacked on top of each other. And our sits bones or our hip bones anchored to the earth. Don't let them pull up. And back up through center. Left hand up and over. With every exhale, Think about that idea that we work on about letting go and relaxing into the stretch. See if you can go a little further with each exhale. Watch those sits bones. I started to pull up there. Back up through center. Let's go forward. So we'll inhale up. You reach those hands forward. Exhale, surrender to the earth. Relaxing the back and the neck. Head grows heavy. Walking our hands back, we'll come to a seated position upright here, and we'll switch which foot is in front. Inhale our hands up. Exhale forward. And again, let those elbows sink to the earth and relax. Walk our hands back. Let's inhale our hands up. Bring those fingertips back behind our head, cradling that lower part of your skull. You're gonna let the elbows touch in the front. Open up wide. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And forward as we exhale. Inhale, open up. Humpback that we get as we get older. Squeeze. Open up. And one more. Squeeze. Open up. We'll release the hands down. Let the feet come out in front of us, straightening those legs into a staff pose. We want our backs up nice and tall and straight. So if you want to support yourself to get there, you can. If you've been practicing a while now and you have it good, you can release those hands and just use your core to keep you up. We're gonna flex the toes up so much the heels pull up off of the earth. Relax the legs, and we'll gently fold forward. With each exhale, try to just let go a little bit more. Roll up to a seated position. Swing our legs underneath us and we'll come to our tabletop. As we make our way to all fours, we're going to check to make sure our positioning is nice and square here. So we have our knees in line with our hips, our wrists in line with the shoulder. Fingers are nice and spread apart. That protects our wrist. Shoulders are actively engaged. Press into the tops of our feet and keep those bellies pulled in. Every time you can think about it, pull in that belly. It'll help with your balance. Protect your spine. We'll do some cat-cow breathing. So as we inhale, we go into our cow, Dropping the belly, opening the chest as we look forward. Exhale, we'll tuck everything in, tuck that tailbone and the chin, coming up to our cat pose. Inhale. Exhale. Continue going back and forth between the two postures, following your natural breath. Finish one more set, and we'll meet in neutral spine. Toes touch, knees as wide as your mat. Let your hips sink back to your heels. Stretch those hands forward before you go ahead and sink into the mat. Forehead touching, and we can rock that head back and forth, side to side here. This is uncomfortable on your back or your shoulders. Pull those hands back, and you can either stack them under your forehead or support yourself a little bit. Inhale back up to our tabletop. And since we didn't do any of our twists when we were sitting down, we're gonna go ahead and bring that right hand through, reach up to the sky. Imagine those hands going as far apart from each other as possible. Looking up to that hand. And then we'll let that right hand thread under the left, coming down onto our right shoulder, right cheek. Reach to the top of your mat. A variation would be to bring that left hand, reach it all the way around your back, and see if you can grab the inside of your right thigh. Release the bind, pressing back up to our tabletop. Remember to tuck in that belly. Right hand stays down, that left hand swings through and reaches up to the sky. Left hand threads under the right, coming to our left shoulder, left cheek, reach to the top of our mat. Again, variation if you want. That right arm will reach back behind our back. See if you can get the inside of that left thigh. Release our twist. Press back up to tabletop, and we'll realign the knees with our hips, coming back to our standard tabletop position. We're gonna go into our balancing table. So we straighten that right leg out, lift it up, our feet are flexed, and then to offset it, our left hand will reach out, thumb up to the sky. Then we bring them both back together. And we'll extend opposite. So left leg, right hand. And bring together. Inhale as we extend. Exhale together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 4, 3, And 5.
Halfway point reached.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and roll down to our mat. Keep those elbows pressed in. We're going to do our cobras. So we will inhale, pressing into those hands. Look forward. Keep the elbows pressed in and the shoulders down. Exhale back down to your mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. And last one, inhale up. Exhale down. Press through our all fours. Tuck those toes under so we can lift the hips up to our downward facing dog. Let's start by pressing one heel into the mat at a time, walking the dog out. And then when you're ready to start working on your alignment, make sure you're looking in between your feet. Your ears should be in alignment with your arms. Tilt that pelvis forward. Press the heels towards the mat. Little baby steps. Let's walk our feet up to our hands. Bend the knees softly as we rest our chest on our thighs. We'll hang here for a moment. Slowly roll up to our mountain pose. Think about activating one vertebrae at a time. Our head and hands are heavy. The head will be the last thing that comes up. Michaela, I sounded like you on that one. Did you catch that? Last. Make sure our tailbone is tucked under. All four corners of our feet have equal weight on them. Tighten those thigh muscles as we feel that energy coming up our front. Pull in that belly. Shoulders are pressed down and back. Tuck that chin under and we'll pull the head back a little bit there. So think about that spine being in good alignment. We'll inhale our hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to a downward facing dog. Shift our weight to our left foot. Right foot raises, three-legged dog. Keep that pelvis square to the mat, foot flex. We'll tuck that knee into our chest before swinging the foot all the way through for a low lunge. Come light on our fingers as we look forward. Drop the back knee, and we'll come up to our crescent lunge. Releasing the hands, we'll come back down. Lift the back knee, low lunge. Right foot comes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Shift our weight to our right foot, left foot raises. Three-legged dog. Draw that knee into our chest before we swing that foot through, coming to our low lunge. Make sure our knee doesn't come in front of that ankle. So if you need to walk your foot forward a little bit, do that to protect it. Then we'll come up light on our fingertips so we can look forward. Drop our back knee, and we'll lift up to our crescent. Releasing our hands, we'll bring them down, lift that back knee back to our low lunge. Left foot will come back to meet the right, coming to a plank. Or if you want to start with a half plank, we're going to lower down to our mat. Exhale, inhale back up to cobra. Exhale back down to your mat. Pressing through our plank, lift those hips up, downward facing dog. That is our vinyasa flow. So we'll bend both knees deeply, look to the top of our mat. You can either walk your way there, take a big step, or a hop. Whatever gets you to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to our flat back. Hands can go wherever feels good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Hands to our heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to a downward facing dog. Shift our weight to our left foot, right foot raises, three-legged dog. Knee to chest. We're going to swing the foot through to a standing pose, so you might want to not go as far. Shift our back foot to that 45 degrees. Make sure our heels are in alignment with each other. And we're going to lift to a warrior one. So our hips are squared to the front of our mat. Shoulders, torso, everything goes straight to the front. Make sure our knee is not over the ankle. We're going to try a warrior three. So warrior three, we press off of the foot. Hands reaching out in front, balance on that right foot, left foot is lifted behind. And we'll step back, wobbliest, is that the word? Warrior three ever, but I did it. And we'll cartwheel both hands down, coming to a low lunge. Then we'll bring that right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Left foot plants, right? No. Yeah. Right foot plants. I was so excited, I can't remember what we're doing. Left foot raises. Swing that left foot through, rotating the back foot. Warrior one. I know. You're steering me the wrong way. All right, warrior three. Our hands are going to stay out in front of us as we come to the front. Get our balance. See if we can bring that right foot up off of the earth. Come back down. Both down to the mat. And we'll do a vinyasa flow here. So left foot comes back to meet the right. Lower to your mat with an exhale. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale back down to your mat. Press through your plank. Hips up, downward facing dog. Bend both knees deeply. Let's look to the top of our mat. We'll make our way there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. We'll bring our hands to our heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to downward facing dog. Shift our weight to our right foot. Left foot raises. Three-legged dog. Draw that knee into our chest. Swinging the foot through. We rotate that foot so it's back foot so it's completely parallel to the mat. And we'll come up to a warrior two. Make sure our body is right down the center. Check that knee, that front knee. And our arms should be nice and level here. Look over the front hand.
Almost there.
We're gonna bend that front arm, that left arm, rest on that front thigh. Right hand will reach up and over. And imagine you have that straight line from your fingertips down to your ankle. Extended side angle. Now don't use your arm to swing yourself up. We're going to use our sides here. Come all the way through warrior two. And we're going to come to a reverse warrior. So right hand is down that straight leg. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling. And we see if we can go into our back space here. Reverse warrior. As we come back through again, we're going to have our hands at warrior two. Straighten our front leg. The right hip comes out. And we're going to reach as far as we can to the left. And then we come down into a triangle. Keep our shoulders stacked. Imagine you're in between two walls here and you have to slide in between them. See if you can look up to that right hand. You're gonna put all your weight on that left hand here so we can come to a forward fold with our feet nice and wide. So we rotate that left foot forward. Now you guys know why I did the other leg first. And we're in a forward fold. And let's go ahead and bend the elbows. Just let ourselves sink gently forward. We'll press back up to that flat back. Walk our hands together all the way to the left side, and we're going to a low lunge here. We'll bring that left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Plant the left foot, right foot raises, three-legged dog. Knee to chest. We're gonna swing that foot through and come to warrior two, this direction. The right foot forward. We'll bend that front arm, rest on the right thigh. Left arm reaches up and over, extended side angle. Again, don't use our arms, use our sides. We're gonna come through warrior two and go all the way to our reverse warrior. Back through warrior two, straighten that front leg. Left hip bumps out as we reach forward with the right hand until you're reaching towards the earth. Left hand comes to the sky and we look up to that left hand. All right, now make that front leg soft, so you might have to pull back a little bit here. Our left arm's gonna swing through, and we're gonna step forward with that left foot and come into a chair. As we stand up, we'll reach down with our hands. We're gonna do our half moons on each side. So left foot stays down, lift that right leg out, and you stop where it feels good. Foot is flexed, you're just parallel to the earth. Left hand stays planted, right hand reaches up if you can, and then we look up to that right hand. Right hand comes down, we'll bring that right foot down. And we'll reset to go to the other side. So lift that left foot up. And left hand. Left hand comes down, bring that left foot. We'll step back to our downward facing dog. Just to do a vinyasa flow, don't be scared. And lower our hips to a plank. Exhale to your mat. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale back down to your mat. Press through plank. Lift those hips up. Downward facing dog. We're gonna drop both knees to the mat, swing our legs around, and come into a bound angle pose. So the soles of our feet are together, and we're holding on to whatever feels comfortable today. Big fingers can be big fingers. Pointer fingers can be hooked around our big toes if you want. We can be holding on to our ankles, maybe even our shins. We'll start with our gentle bounces. And I should stay facing my mat because you won't be able to see what we do next. So right from our bound angle here, we're gonna swing into a pigeon pose. So if you can visualize it already, and you can just do it, you just go. So we're gonna keep that left foot in front, and this right leg literally is gonna swing all the way around. And you just go ahead, move yourself around until you're comfortable. Try any level you want. You can go into the resting or the peaceful. What are you doing with your belly right now? Can you pull it in? And let's walk our hands back so we're more upright again. We'll swing that right leg around. And we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. So the left leg will swing around. And just keep messing with yourself here until you feel comfortable in a pigeon pose. Any variation that feels good. Walk our hands back once again. Swing that left leg forward. We're going to extend both feet out in front of us into that staff pose. We're going to pull that right leg in, let it cross over the left, hug it in with the left arm. Right hand comes behind as we look over that right shoulder. We're in a spinal twist here. In, let it cross over, hug it in with that right arm, and we'll look over the left shoulder in a spinal twist this way. Return to that bound angle pose. We're going to go ahead and roll down with our legs staying in the bound angle. So it turns into a reclining cobbler pose. Convert this into a clam. You're gonna love it. All right, so cradle our heads with our hands here. And we're going to lift our upper bodies. Remember, whenever we do this sort of thing, we pretend like we have a piece of fruit under our chin. And the reason you do that is to protect your neck. You're always at a risk that you're pulling your head up by your neck otherwise. So we keep that piece of fruit there whenever you lift up so that you keep that spine in alignment. So we're going to lift up the head, but then lift up the feet in that bound angle pose, that reclining cobbler pose. So this is a clam. And then we release it back down. Let's try to do 10 clams.
once you've done your 10, we'll extend our arms out to opposite sides in a big T, if you will. Straighten that left leg. We're going to let it go straighten along our mat. Our right leg, we're going to bring up to the center and let it come all the way across the left leg and fall over our bodies here, coming into a supine spinal twist. And the trick will be, once you get your leg over, reposition those shoulders so both shoulders stay anchored. If it feels good tonight, you can go ahead and look over that right shoulder. Bring our head up to center, and we'll straighten up onto our back. Let that right leg slide out on the mat, and we'll pull the left leg up, bending that knee, and then let the leg fall over to the right side, and then reposition our shoulders, get them both anchored on the earth. And if it feels good, look over our left shoulder. Head comes up. Let's straighten out our body here. Left foot is planted. We'll draw the right foot up alongside it. Walk both feet as close to our sits bones as we can make them. Both arms come down alongside our body. And we're going to slowly peel our hips up off of the mat and pressing them up towards the ceiling in a supported bridge. And slowly roll back down. Feel each vertebrae make contact with the earth, getting a little massage of its own. Nice. And we're going to come into the Shavasana portion of our practice. So if you want to add any props or anything that'll make you more comfortable at this time, now would be when you should get it. And whenever you're ready, you can straighten out first one leg and then the other. Shavasana is the most important part of your practice, so I hope that you have the time to stay a few moments in this stillness that you've worked so hard to attain. We do start with a body scan. And during the scan, we try to release each of the muscle groups as it creeps up the body, and just releasing any of the tension left and pushing it out so that we can lie here in complete surrender. So we'll take a big cleansing breath in and a cleansing breath out. We'll begin by relaxing the toes. Breathe relaxation into the feet. Allow the calves and eventually the thighs to just surrender and be still. Maybe you have your hands facing with the palms up And you can just relax those hands and feel the fingers just naturally curl in a little bit. And the more you relax the hands, you feel that relaxation naturally crawling up the arms, making them feel heavy. Breathe into the shoulders. Allow any tension that we have to melt away, and be patient with yourself. Relax the neck and even the jaw, maybe allowing it to open just a little as you release any tension left there. Finally, let go of any of the muscles in our face that we might be clenching just a little last bit. And imagine pushing all of the stress, all of the tension of the day out of the crown of our head. No longer needed.